Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
Think you know diamonds? Probably not as much as you think. Our engagement ring, the gift from a partner, or the jewelry we buy to celebrate a win sparks a lot of joy. But did you know that Stone is connected to 10 million people around the world? From Canada to Africa to Australia, the natural diamond industry provides healthcare and more to remote communities. Each natural diamond promises a more sparkling future for generations to come. Discover so many more natural diamond truths at naturaldiamonds.com/thankyou.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Cognitive Recalibration Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Shravan. We have Taran here sitting opposite me.
Hey everyone. Oh, well, that wasn't me, but that's fine. We have other people here as well.
Yeah, we've got other people here. So this is a little bit different to the episodes that we normally do. We're not talking about a movie or a TV show or anything in particular. We're going to do something that we've come up with called Avengers Supercoach.
I came up with another name.
Okay.
Superhero Showdown.
Superhero Showdown, okay.
Does that sound better, or does it?
No, Avengers Supercoach, fuck off.
Fair enough.
So we'll go through the rules shortly, but before that, you've been hearing other people, particularly one person to my right. So, so we have two people that are going to be facing off today. So me and Taran are actually going to be the judges. So firstly, I'll introduce Bhaskar, who you would have heard just...
Hey guys.
Which is
still not Bhaskar.
That's the other Bhaskar. Yeah. Howdy guys, how you doing?
So you would have heard him just a couple of episodes ago for Captain Marvel. And the other person you've heard more than me so far in this episode is Karedi. So he joined us for the Spider-Man PS4 review, and everyone really enjoyed that. So he's back.
Did they?
Yeah, I put a like on that.
I have a bone to pick with all you guys, because all you guys are in that Captain Marvel episode and you fucking liked that movie. I'm still angry about that.
I stand by that.
You got it right towards the end.
Yeah, it's not amazing.
These
but
guys were frothing.
I will just propose if she ends up on the right side of the battle today, you can probably give a bit of an opinion as to why. Why?
Captain Marvel can suck my dick.
He's gonna pick Captain Marvel and not use it.
No, I'll just agree with all your arguments as to why she's so shit. I just prepare arguments as to why she's so bad.
Okay, Taran, do you want to tell us what the rules are? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So we have. Are we going to post this up?
Yeah. So we'll post the roster on Facebook, so you'll see all the heroes and all their tiers and prices. So they'll be on Facebook, but I'll go through each of them now anyway. But you go through the rules.
So we've got superheroes in different tiers. What we're going to do first is have a draft round where Karedi and Bhaskar are going to pick 6 players. Those 6 players will go into a fight. The first round is a 1v1, second round is a 2v2, and third round is a 3v3. And it's a free-for-all, no rules as such, and Karedi and Bhaskar are going to debate why their team is going to beat the other team, basically. Yeah.
And it's more like fighting for a defeat rather than trying to kill the...
No, yeah. You don't need to kill them. You can if you want.
I'll kill
Screw
you.
that. Death battle! No. Battle to the death or nothing.
Yep. And it'll be in a debate format where there'll be opening arguments, rebuttal, and closing arguments.
Yep.
So wait, do one question. So if it's not to the death, what would be the other condition in this case? Like incapacitation?
Like to submission.
Oh, submission. Okay. There you go. Ooh.
I love submitting.
Get me some rope.
Okay, so I'll quickly talk through the tiers and the roster, and then we'll pick our teams. So the roster, I'll start with the top tier. So the top tier is $250,000, and that has Thor, Hulk, and Captain Marvel.
What sort of dollars?
Marvel dollars.
Zimbabwean.
So what does it cost now then?
We can probably afford all of these guys. Okay, second tier is Doctor Strange, Vision, and Scarlet Witch for 150,000. Third tier is Captain America, Iron Man, and Black Panther for 120,000. Tier 4, so a few more heroes in this one. Spider-Man, Wong from Doctor Strange, Winter Soldier, Ant-Man, Wasp, Gamora, and Nebula for 80,000. And then Tier 5, which is the cheapest tier, we've got Hawkeye, Black Widow, what's this guy? Star-Lord.
What's this guy's name?
AKA Tier 5.
We watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2 yesterday.
Why does it matter? Why does it matter?
Prince.
He's dust now. Fuck him.
Star Prince, Star-Lord, okay. Falcon, War Machine, Drax, Groot, Raccoon.
It's Teenage Groot, by the way.
Teenage Groot,
Yeah, so Infinity War Groot. Raccoon.
No, Okoye.
Shuri.
No,
and
is it Nakia? No, it's Okoye.
Okoye, yeah.
Blue
Okoye.
Peter's friend.
Yeah.
Shuri and Mantis. Okay. And they're worth 50,000.
Yep.
Nice.
So the budget is 700,000 and you have to pick 6 of the Avengers.
And you can pick from whichever tier you want. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Any combination, but you can't go over the 700,000.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll start. So
All right. I've got a number between 1 and 10.
Is that inclusive?
Now the real question is, who goes first?
Actually, I'm going to go 1 and 100. 1 and 10 is too small. 1
Yeah.
and 100.
Okay, 1 and 100.
So Basco, what's your number?
37.
Yep. What do you?
75.
It's close. That's 72.
Okay.
Ooh, there you go.
So you get first pick.
Thank fuck. I picked Thor.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
Okay.
Now, so Thor is out.
My first pick, Doctor Strange.
Fuck.
I was tempted to go for a tier 1, but
I wonder who Kareem was going to pick next.
actually, can I just pick Doctor Strange 6 times for him? 6 different images. I'm just no, I don't have enough money.
Hawkeye.
Actually, he's got Hawkeye. He's got Hawkeye.
All right.
Hawkeye but pick 2. That's I don't know what that is.
Gutsy move.
Yeah, that's a
Not
gutsy
bad.
move.
Question. So, Tony Stark, is this the Mark 50 nanosuit Tony Stark?
Yes.
No, this is
Infinity
14-year-old
Infinity.
Tony Stark.
This is the Mark 1 Tony Stark, like the big old iron suit.
No, it's Infinity War.
Infinity War.
And does that include all these gadgets and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that include Veronica?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is
yeah.
Veronica?
Veronica's the Hulkbuster.
Yeah, it's basically Hulkbuster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
It does.
Yeah, I'll give you Veronica.
Yeah.
All right, Iron Man's my next pick.
Yeah, I guess I would go Scarlet Witch. No. Can I go back? Oh,
Yeah.
is that it?
Yeah, nah. We'll give it to you. You can go back.
No, fuck it. I'll just go
No,
Scarlet
he's going
Witch.
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch. This is going to be an interesting team up.
I like the Scarlet Witch Hawkeye combo, by the way.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
They get along well together.
They do. Wonderful scene in
What's the,
Age of Ultron. So I have 430 left. I think it's safe to pick a tier 1 in this case. I'm going to go Captain Marvel.
All right. This is going to get interesting.
Let's go Spider-Man.
He's a good bargain buy, I think.
Yeah, that's a decent buy. I can see Basque crossing out a lot in this list.
Yeah, I'm just doing the math. So, Tharon, how much do I have left?
So you've got 180 left with 3 players.
All right. So I need someone who can do considerable damage.
Yes, that is the point.
All right, I choose Ant-Man.
Fuck!
Guess who's crawling up Uranus? No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I got crawlers too, you know?
Can Spider-Man control spiders?
No.
Can he? I haven't seen the movies.
No, he can't.
They can't actually.
I think in one
The
of the comics
human
he can.
spider.
In one of the comics he can.
I think he can in one of the comics. Yeah.
Actually, no. He's got the nano ones, isn't he?
He's got this.
Oh, yeah.
He's got this spider thing that
Depends.
detaches
He's
off
got the
his suit.
Stark
Spider-Bot.
design suit, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's got all of the.
And he's
gadgets
also
that
got
come
his
with
own suit if you want to use that.
that. Yeah, the homecoming one.
Yeah. I'll give you
So I
anything.
need 2 more people, huh?
2 more.
2 more,
170.
170.
All right. I go Star-Lord.
Nice.
Star-Lord, okay.
Interesting.
All right, here we go. Actually, it's a very interesting selection. I would love to go Drax, but I know he's just going to stand still and pretend to be invisible the whole time. So I will go for War Machine. Wait, is he still paralyzed? I can't remember what happened.
He's paralyzed, but
Is he
he's
dead or
got.
paralyzed?
He's still alive. He's
still got the suit.
He's got the suit that helps him walk.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Yep. So you've got 120 left.
Yeah.
One person left to pick. So you could go Cap or Black Panther.
Yeah, I could go.
You got to go one of those two. They're the big boys. I know who I would pick.
I know who I'd pick too.
Here we go. Groot.
Groot.
Ooh.
Are you actually a Groot?
I was going to get him.
Okay.
Not bad.
Okay.
Good choice.
So you've gone below budget.
Bastards going right on
Can I have
budget.
what's left?
Actually, I think that
It's
should be.
Zimbabwean dollars. Yeah.
I'll play to Kuriti's side. I think having a bit of money left over should be a little bit of a handicap. Like as in, like it's beneficial. So he's gone under budget. You can spend it on, spend it on
Spend whatever you
Whizfizz
want.
and
Not kick your ass.
just spend it on Whizfizz and warheads afterwards.
All right, who are we going, Basker?
All right,
Okay.
final pick.
I know who I'd pick here as well.
Yeah, I
So
think
he's
I
got
know.
50 left, doesn't he?
I'm assuming I didn't pick who
So
you
he's got a choice of Black Widow, Falcon, Drax, Rocket. Might be a good option.
And I'm just trying to search my knowledge base in terms of how well do I know these guys. I'd have to go.
Mantis?
Oh yeah, Mantis as well. That's
Mantis is good.
bit of an
name
He was
interesting.
the only one that could incapacitate.
Thanos.
Thanos.
Yeah.
For a little bit anyway.
Yeah.
She literally had to be put on top of like a cup and a
She's a
saucer,
fucking dumber.
She's useless unless she's touching someone,
Yeah.
which is kind of
like
creepy.
many people in Amsterdam.
Also like
And like already.
That's why I love her.
alrighty, sixth pick on the go is gonna have to be Scarlet Witch. Sorry, not Scarlet Witch.
You can't take
Not Scarlet Witch.
You can't take
No,
her, man.
I meant
First
Black
of all,
Widow.
she's taken, and also she's over budget.
I meant Black Widow. I'm sorry. I'm confusing the movie Scarlet, which is about a Russian operative, which is actually
I think you're just thinking Scarlett Johansson. Yeah.
and also Scarlet. There's so many confusing. I go for Scarlett
Who'd you
Johansson.
take?
Black Widow.
Who'd you
Black
take?
Widow.
Black Widow.
Black Widow. Okay.
All right. Okay. So we'll quickly recap those teams. So, Kiri, what's your team?
Thor, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, Hawkeye, Star-Lord, Groot.
Cool.
Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, War Machine, Black Widow.
That's the team up.
There's a couple on the
I
board.
honestly reckon Doctor Strange is like undervalued, according to your thing.
He's in tier 2, man.
He should have been tier 1. Hands down.
Here's the thing. I think Tony Stark is a little bit undervalued in this one.
Yeah, I think he
Doctor
is too.
Strange. There's a reason why I picked him. We'll go into why, but I think he's strong. But I think definitely there is a separation between the tier 1 currently and tier 2. No one picked Hulk, so I think
No one gives a shit about Banner.
Banner Man.
I can't believe no one picked Hulk. That's a good pick.
He's the strongest
Hulk
Avenger.
is strongest.
He's
Yeah.
the strongest Avenger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think this will be a battle of wits. So
I thought Kiriti was going to pick Black Panther for his 120
I thought he would pick Black Panther as well.
because more because of his wealth and his other resources that he
Yeah.
could
No,
use.
I'll explain why I went for Groot.
And he's got that suit.
Explain why I went for Groot later on, I guess.
Okay.
interesting.
And,
Other notable omissions, I guess Cap misses out.
Cap,
Yeah.
no Captain America. I think Cap missing out's fair enough.
Yeah,
though.
fair enough.
Yeah.
And Vision.
He's pretty strong.
Yeah, he's pretty strong.
Vision's my bitch. I'm Scarlet Witch.
That is a good point. Vision is quite strong. I think the only
No, I was very close. You know when I said, "Oh, can I take that back?" I was gonna pick Vision and just be like just have two of them just chucking the fucking hammer to each other,
Just what Thor and Vision just chucking their hammers.
playing catch.
playing catch.
I would have liked that.
I would have
Yeah.
loved that. Okay, all right.
But
Yeah.
we have a different hammer these days, so who knows?
Yeah.
Also,
Shall we make a start? Round one?
Round 1, 1v1. All right, I've got
So who goes first?
another number in my head. Do I? Yep, I do.
So I go first. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. 50.
Yep.
99.
Why?
Karini's been really close for some reason. 47.
Damn you! Freaking
Like,
on the same
he's been within 3 of both of them. It's creepy. It's really creepy.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
I think my margin of error has been pretty consistent. So
What? Does 99 even fucking make strategically any sense?
also you picked 50, which is literally right in the middle, right?
So
So in my eyes, I'm just like going one side or the other. I would pick 1 or 99.
So you should have gone like 75, and then you would have got everything above 75 and even like within 12 and a half.
It doesn't matter at that point because it's just the proximity.
I think you make sense, but it also doesn't matter because he would have lost. Either way.
Unless he went 48.
Yeah, if you went 48. After he said 50, I'm like, there's no way Basker's going to get this.
Yeah, you threw me in the deep end, Cody. Screw you, man.
Because I was like, first he went quite high. So I was like, you know what? And then he's not suddenly going to go low. He's going to go bang in the middle.
Cool. Right. So Kiriti gets first pick of who he wants in
Yep.
In the 1v1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you could choose to defer and
he
get
gets
Basker to pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Basket, you go.
Oh, fuck. All right. That's giving me the white piece. Alrighty, here we go. That's not a racial term, by the way. It's just...
No one said
No one said anything. No one was thinking it.
No one was approaching race.
Yeah, hey, I'm projecting, okay? All right, 1v1. Let's see who we have here. Now, here's a problem with 1v1. So, the temptation is to go for the strongest character. However, that is basically the most powerful piece out of the way, and you're not already guaranteed to win. So, you've got Thor. If you select Thor for the 1v1, I've only got a few select people who could even match that. Okay, so for 1v1, I'm going to choose Doctor Strange.
You actually have a team that makes sense.
Because you got War Machine and Iron Man. Like
Mine's just like, what the fuck?
Oh, you've got
Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
You got Star-Lord and Groot. So
Yeah,
they
you got
go,
Star-Lord Groot. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
You got Spider-Hawk. I don't know if that makes sense, but so Doctor Strange on the table.
Choose Hawkeye.
Are you kidding me?
All right.
Okay.
Man, me bitch.
So these guys haven't even met in the movies. So they've
Never met.
Yeah.
No.
They actually haven't met, no.
yeah. All right.
All right.
So you
we've
sing
got-
it first on the cognitive recalibration.
I kind of want to take mine back and just put it.
That's why I did it. I fucked him.
Oh, well.
Okay. Are you ready to go?
Yep. Just tell me when to start.
Ready, set, go. You got 2 minutes.
All right, so Hawkeye. First of all, Hawkeye's fucking sexy, right? Doctor Strange's fucking ugly. He has this goatee that's like some fucking, oh, look at me, I'm the new fucking Tony Stark. Gets real jealous when he sees Tony Stark because they got the same facial hair, same personality. This guy's got nothing on. Fucking Hawkeye is some next level retardation. But it's fucking sexy. All right? So already, when these guys meet,
I will give that.
So they haven't met yet, and as soon as Doctor Strange, they call him Doctor Strange because you don't really know what's going on in his head, right? And you don't know what he's really attracted to. But once this guy rocks up, Clint, and you know there's sudden attraction. Clint's got this sorted, right? Second thing is they haven't met yet, and Doctor Strange is probably expecting fucking amazing powers from Hawkeye. This guy doesn't have shit. So he's going to be overthinking this battle so much, right? Fucking trying to figure out how he goes interdimensionally. He's gonna overthink the battle, and Hawkeye just in all that time he's just gonna pull out an arrow and knock him in his crotch. Also, number 3, who survived the fucking Thanos apocalypse and who didn't? Yeah, suck it, bitch. Doctor Strange fucking let himself die. What an idiot! And we don't know whether that's gonna work yet because we haven't seen Endgame. So, bro, he
30
fucked
seconds.
He fucked it for the boys. And the other one is, obviously, this is before the time of Infinity War and whatnot, but it seems like Doctor Strange heavily relies upon the Time Stone. That seems to be his weakness. No one's really hit it yet. And, you know, Hawkeye seems to be, he's called Hawkeye because he focuses on one thing. If he figures out what the weakness is, you know, you can get on them things, you know, wagwan.
That's interesting.
5 seconds.
I'm going to win.
All right. Opening argument.
That's very interesting, the last point. Yeah.
Okay, so
Focus on the weakness. That's good.
you go for opening arguments as well.
Okay, you've got Doctor Strange, the sorcerer represent for Earth. So his battle capacity and his readiness, I think, at this point in this stage, is quite up there in terms of being able to take on quite powerful enemies. Last we saw of him, he took on basically Dormammu and with the help of the Time Stone, and did quite a considerable amount of damage in that he increased his own abilities and increased his own powers within like a span of moments, but he probably spent a few years, arguably a decade, in a time loop that allowed him to increase his power threshold quite significantly. In terms of his capacity to fight Hawkeye, I would say being completely composed. So with Doctor Strange, you get him, You get the sorcery. You get the Eye of Agamotto, aka Time Stone. That's right. And you also have the Cape of Levitation. So we have a bunch of things here that will help Doctor Strange, even if he is incapacitated or unable to, respond initially. We have seen the Cape come into his aid before. But strictly with his magic and his ability, he channels quite powerful magic. Couple of examples: the Crimson Bands of Sidorak, which have incapacitated Thanos himself.
30 seconds.
And probably more importantly, Images of Icon, which he can use to duplicate himself to countless different number of entities, which in the comics couldn't actually do anything, but in this universe they can. So simply by power and by magic, I think he can outpower and possibly even kill Hawkeye.
Is that it?
That's it.
Done. All right. Let's go for some rebuttals now. So 2 minutes as well. So Karedi, rebutting Basker's opening arguments. Go for it.
All right. I think everything that Basker just said about Doctor Strange is total bullshit. No, but I think you've just, by proving how Doctor Strange is, first of all, tackled Dormammu or Dormammu, or however you say his name, and all these big villains, just proves the point that he's going to expect great things from Hawkeye, and Hawkeye's got fuck all to offer to the battle, right? So it's going to he's just going to be boggled by the fact that Hawkeye can't do shit, and he's not going to realize. The other thing is, the other thing I forgot to mention was that when you think about it, when Loki, in the first Avengers, when Loki came down and essentially screwed over the Avengers for most of the movie, his main kind of pillar was Hawkeye. Hawkeye was doing everything for him. Hawkeye rocked up, took down that whole aircraft, shat on everyone essentially, right? I mean, there was no one else, and there was some idiot scientist that was helping him, but that guy was a bit of a loser. So it's really just Hawkeye that was sorting everything out. So, he's got some mad things going on, And once again, sure, there's all these things that Doctor Strange can do, but I think he's just thoroughly unprepared. He's prepared for great things, but he's not prepared for mediocre. He's not prepared for mediocrity that Hawkeye has to offer. I've got nothing else really.
Well within the time. All right, Basker, rebuttal, go for it.
I'd like to address the singular point of the attractiveness of Hawkeye right now. If the attraction is mutual. So if Hawkeye's looking now, you might completely disregard the facial features of Doctor Strange, which I would say has a better goatee and facial hair, trimming capabilities than Iron Man. If the attraction is mutual, then we're looking at a complete cancellation of distraction levels. So Hawkeye's going to be as distracted as Doctor Strange, who I think it's
not mutual, is one way.
Well, if it's
you can't talk to him.
He's got to consider his own family, right, at this point. Specifically talking about you could say his mundaneness. Hey, look, let's not shit on Hawkeye. He's a trained, he's a trained soldier. He's an operative. He can get shit done. The matter is, in a one-on-one battle, in an environmental situation, we've seen Doctor Strange deal with fast projectiles, which is you could say Hawkeye's forte right now, with both examples from Infinity War and from the time he fought Dormammu. His ability to shield oncoming attacks is the only thing that can protect him against Hawkeye temporarily, before he chooses whatever he wants to kind of incapacitate this one. The thing is, Hawkeye is not superhuman. That's the only downside. So if there was something that is not so much what can Doctor Strange not do, it's what can Hawkeye do to prevent himself falling under something as simple as maybe
30 seconds.
Falling under the mirror dimension. So simply what could happen is Doctor Strange could just leave him in the mirror dimension until he starves and then exit it with teleportation. Hawkeye doesn't get to do anything really. But yeah.
All right, done?
Yep.
Okay. Closing, Karedi. 2 minutes, go for it.
Alrighty. So yeah, this guy, Hawkeye, he's just a good guy. Good guy, Hawkeye. So as I've said, first of all, this guy's sexy as fuck. I can't underestimate them things, The other thing is, look, he knows what he's doing, man. He comes in and he fucks people up because they expect great things and he doesn't have great things. And the ability to overestimate someone is a real disadvantage. And I think Doctor Strange is definitely going to do that. And once again, I think, sure, Doctor Strange has all these abilities, but we do forget that, first of all, Doctor Strange heavily relies upon the Time Stone. If Hawkeye can disable that, hypothetically. In fact, I think Doctor Strange probably not even going to rely on the Time Stone because he reckons Hawkeye is so shit. And therefore,
I was going to go there.
But overall, I think Hawkeye has proven himself to be a bit of a shit show maker, as shown in the first Avengers movie. So you never know what he's up to. And Doctor Strange shit.
Good closing. Good closing. All right, Bhaskar, hit it.
So one thing that I have considered that maybe Doctor Strange hasn't taken into account, Hawkeye has family. Doctor Strange doesn't necessarily have family. He might be sympathetic. He might be sympathetic to Hawkeye's, motivation, and that might be a weakness which Hawkeye could, take advantage of. Every single time we see Hawkeye in battle, everyone's underestimated him. When he shot that arrow at Loki, he just grabs like, "The hell are you doing?" and explodes in his face. That could happen. Honestly speaking, yeah, it could totally gain an upper hand, but there is one thing which can always bite back, and that is Hawkeye doesn't really know the full extent of Doctor Strange's abilities. He hasn't really seen him in battle. So his battle readiness, I would say, is probably not as good as Doctor Strange's could be. But in response to the Time Stone argument, yeah, I don't think it would be necessary, but if he used it and entered into a time loop and just allowed him to be killed by Hawkeye multiple times, just coming back into the same time loop, he could eventually find out Hawkeye's weakness and corner him in the same way that he did most of his powerful enemies. So that's my closing argument. I think there is nothing that Hawkeye can do to harm him if Doctor Strange had his regular preparedness in battle. So that's where I think it's going to go.
All right.
Okay.
That's it. What have you got first?
So
Now for some real arguments.
Do you know what? I actually thought Karidi did pretty well for most of that. I was actually on board with Hawkeye.
I don't know where I was going with this.
I was on board. There was one thing that kind of destroyed it and made. I think up till halfway through Bhaskar's rebuttal, I was on Hawkeye's side, and then Bhaskar said one thing, and then it just completely destroyed it. When he said you could just take him to the mirror dimension and starve him.
Have you seen Hawkeye eat? No, he doesn't need to eat. Wait, have you seen him eat? Was he even there at the end of the Avengers when they're all eating fucking shawarma?
He was.
No, he was faking it. He was faking it.
Yeah.
But until then, I was pretty much on Hawkeye's side.
To be honest, if someone can go between dimensions, I think, and the other person can't, I think it's game over. I think it's done. There's not much you can do there.
There's not much, yeah.
That's why I just reinstated that it was sexy.
Yeah.
But you didn't give us much in terms of like specific things Hawkeye could do. Like
I can't even remember.
If you just came in and said Hawkeye just comes in, first thing he does, shoots an arrow and hits him in the head. There's nothing Doctor Strange can do. He's dead. So,
it's got those electrocuting arrows that stick to your head and like electrocute them.
Yeah, it could have.
Yeah, I know. But like, I know situational stuff is like, I mean, sure, I can bring up the argument, oh, bro, he's going to sneak up behind him and stab him in the neck. Like, I mean, these are stupid arguments. He's like, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think you need more argue on concepts rather than fucking situation.
But you didn't give us anything specific that he could do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe it's also because I don't know what the fuck he can do.
So your verdict is?
I think Bhaskar took that one.
Okay.
Yep.
So from my end, I think Kiri did bring up good arguments, considering he was trying to argue that if Hawkeye can beat Doctor Strange. Bhaskar also, I thought Bhaskar brought up good arguments for Kiridi.
There was
he started giving me pointers.
Point when Bhaskar started vouching for Hawkeye, I wasn't sure what was happening.
In his conclusion, he started making points about Hawkeye. I was like, damn, son.
I was almost going to give it to Hawkeye there because
he almost argued for Hawkeye.
Yeah.
It's like when you're watching a film and you know the battle's one-sided, but they make the situation a little bit more equal by making you sympathise with the underdog.
You made it closer than it needed to be. It's like India in a cricket match against Bangladesh. They're going to win, but
we're going to get some angry Bangladeshi fans coming in.
Yeah. So in the end, I think Bhaskar does take it. So it's basically, I think Hawkeye will put up a good fight, but really Doctor Strange is probably a bit too powerful. So Bhaskar takes the first round.
1-0 lead. Hard to beat from there.
Is it?
I don't know.
Let's see where you want to go.
This is the first time we've done this. So no idea.
All right, round 2, which is a 2 versus 2.
2v2. All right. Another number in my head. All right. Got one.
Who goes first?
I think you picked first last time, so Bhaskar.
Okay.
Yeah.
25.
Yep.
26.
Crazy one.
Yeah.
It was 47. Bhaskar was close. You were close. I thought you might have had it.
How is 25 close to 47?
No, but like...
Relatively. If I went like 80...
Yeah, if you went 80, then you... Yeah.
No, I see the game there. Yeah, no, that's good logic there.
This game's stupid.
All right. You're still 1-0 down, though. Okay. Do you want to divert again or pick first?
You pick.
Okay, I'm going to pick 2v2. First pick is going to be Black Widow.
All right. I pick Star-Lord.
And second would be Iron Man.
I pick Spider-Man.
Ooh.
Okay.
This is an interesting one.
This will be interesting.
Okay.
Star-Lord, Spider-Man.
So it's Star-Lord, Spider-Man v Black Widow, Iron Man.
Wow. It's got Iron Man versus Spider-Man in there. It's got...
Black Widow versus Star-Lord.
Yeah,
it's got Black Widow versus Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's got
Possibly.
a bit of everything.
A bit of everything.
Yes, you are naming just the combinations, correct?
All right, round 2.
Round 2. So we'll start with Bhaskar.
Okay, Iron Man, Tony Stark, and Black Widow. So, we've got quite a team up here. I'm just going to start off straight in the game. Spider-Man is using Tony Stark's software for his suit. Iron Man is just going to disable Spider-Man software, render him useless. Second, Black Widow's hand-to-hand combat, stealth, incapacitating technology. She's going to be pretty useless in the long range, so I'm going to have her focus purely on Star-Lord. And Iron Man can just support using his peripheral weapons, mostly his primary blasters, and I think he can offer long-distance support to quite a long range if he requires. So he's not going to have a problem with Star-Lord's primary weaponry. The issue is going to be if Spider-Man decides to ditch the suit and just go in straight in with his abilities, then it might get interesting. I don't know how willing Iron Man is. I don't think he's going to hurt Peter Parker. He's going to try and make sure he's out of the game as easily as he can.
Arguing for me again.
I gotta get into the mindset, man. I gotta get. So he's gonna have to do something smart. Peter's gonna get in there. He's passionate. Look, these are two passionate individuals. Star-Lord's pretty damn, passionate. He can get in there. He can get emotional. I think, I think Black Widow can handle Star-Lord pretty well. If she gets in the firing range, she might be in trouble. But Iron Man's there to support. He's pretty strong. He's got a full arsenal of weaponry, so I think it's pretty one-sided. I think, but we'll see what the opponent has to say for this one.
All right, well within the time again. Let's go, Karidi. Start.
All right. So first of all, let's be honest. Iron Man's not going to disable Spider-Man's suit. He loves him too much. Right. So then what they're going to do is they're going to take the battle to space. Right. Black Widow's useless in space. She's dead. All right. So Black Widow's dead. Black Widow's dead. Star-Lord and Spider-Man can survive in space, and they have the required gear, even if Black Widow's not dead, right? Star-Lord, I think essentially the battle is going to be like Star-Lord and Spider-Man. Firstly, they got great banter, right? They got great jokes. Everyone's going to be laughing. It's going to be a great time, all right?
I'll agree
Secondly,
with that.
Star-Lord Iron Man has great gadgets, but Star-Lord's got great things too, like interdimensional or kind of like space weaponry is essentially what these guys operate on. So like the gear that they've got, and obviously Star-Lord's got experience in space. He's seen different civilizations. He's got knowledge, things that these guys don't have. And also I think we forget, like, look, the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie was fucking weird and it was a bit stupid, but Star-Lord is essentially, he's like a clone of this planet kind of virus thing.
Ego.
And they never really, they talk about how, Ego and his dad like destroy, and he gets destroyed and his powers go away. But if he's technically a clone, this guy still's got some inherent power that we haven't really explored, right? So there's that, because ultimately he was created half human, between a human and this dude. So to simply say that now he's lost all his power, I think is a farce. So he's got some sort of power. The other thing is Spider-Man's like very quick.
30 seconds.
Spider-Man's very quick. He's smart and he can play with your emotions. And so I think emotionally he's incapacitated Iron Man already. And so, I mean, it's no match when it's just Black Widow kind of trying to breathe in space and just struggling. Star-Lord just puts a gun to her head, blasts her brains out, and then Spider-Man just emotionally manipulates and then unhooks his fucking suit, and Tony Stark's dead as well.
From what? Depression?
All right, we're done.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like that wasn't even like an intro argument. It was just rebuttals the whole time.
All right, Basket, go for a rebuttal.
The space argument, I have to say, is pretty damn good. That's a good point. You forgot one thing. Spider-Man's going to be pretty useless without something to hang on to. So Star-Lord's got a rocket propulsion system. He can manage himself well in space. Yeah, Black Widow is going to be pretty much dead. But if you see how, however, I would say that in the preparation time that Tony Stark has, with the nanotechnology he has, I don't think it'd be too difficult for him to come up with a breathing apparatus for Black Widow. But assuming this battle's still on ground, because getting to escape velocity is going to be damn difficult without a rocket or something. You can't just go into space. Even like the transition from ground level to outer space will take 3 hours with Star-Lord's propulsion system. So you're gonna have quite a. It took SpaceX like freaking 4 hours to get into orbit. So yeah, we don't have that kind of propulsion. We got one specific point is, okay, let's say Tony Stark does not disable Spider-Man's suit, and it's a fair one-on-one fight. All right, teacher versus student, mentor versus mentee. That's a real word. Check it up.
Yeah, I know. I'm not arguing that.
I reckon that would be.
Seconds.
I do reckon Tony would give that a proper fair fight. I don't think he's just going to disable the suit, even though he would be like a father figure protecting him from any harm. He'll give it a go. At the end of the day, Spider-Man, even though he's a augmented superhuman, extremely powerful, extremely he's well prepared for the battle. I think Tony would have come in prepared for everything that he can see. From his nanosuit straight down to his support systems, I don't think Tony's got a problem. Black Widow, hand-to-hand combat again. She's going to rely completely on stealth evasiveness and using her countermeasures to dodge Star-Lord. Again, Star-Lord, very powerful. Might not be able to live up to Star-Lord's power, I think, but Tony is not going to be completely expended with Spider-Man. He's going to have two arms. So,
all right, we're done. Rebuttal, Kiriti.
All right, so I think So firstly, I think the argument that saying that Tony Stark is the mentor for Spider-Man, I think that's a great exaggeration. So like the things that have made Spider-Man are all his experiences on Earth before. I mean, even if you take into account the movie lore, right? He's been Spider-Man for a while now. He's been doing things. Essentially, he's grown in his strength and his ability to do stuff more because of what he does on Earth rather than Tony Stark being there. Secondly, he's got his own suit. So even if he does disable his suit, he's got his own suit. That's not an issue. So if we are on Earth, things are fine. If we're not on Earth and Black Widow's dead anyway, then I'm sure Star-Lord's got some of his, space gear. He can just give that to Spider-Man and then we've got things. And someone to hang on to, he can hang on to Star-Lord. It's fine. So, okay. But then let's also think about the fact that, so I think this whole time, and we've seen that in Infinity War as well, Tony Stark grossly underestimates Spider-Man. He's like, this guy, he expects him to just piss off when that rocket's flying off. He gets onto it. He always reappears in situations where he doesn't expect him. He always underestimates Spider-Man. I think that's a big thing. Also, we know that Iron Man is extremely emotional, as we saw in Captain America Civil War, right? He could not control his emotions at all, despite the fact that he knew that fucking Bucky Barnes was, wasn't in the right state of mind and he killed his parents, but he still couldn't get over that fact. And then, that this guy's desperately emotional. There's no way this guy's going to try and touch Spider-Man. He's going to be shitting his pants because he's scared. All right? Black Widow's dead, so it doesn't matter. But overall, I think the Star-Lord and Spider-Man combination is pretty good. I feel like they can fend off each other. I also feel like Spider-Man and Star-Lord can get off the ground very easily. And I feel like once you're doing that, it's only Iron Man that you need to combat rather than Black Widow. Because she's just on the ground. It's like, oh, I don't care about her anymore. She hasn't contributed much.
Okay, we've got closing arguments now. 1 minute.
1 minute. Okay.
All right, go for it.
Now, one thing I haven't addressed is Star-Lord's potential power. Okay. He is part ego, so we don't know how much power that has behind him. We don't know he's powerful enough to hold the Power Stone. But he didn't bring that into effect in Infinity War when he was most desperately emotional. I don't think he was able to channel that power. So if it was this kind of battle, and he's got no stakes, he won't be able to channel that. Second, okay, Tony Stark will take Spider-Man seriously. Tony Stark was able to incapacitate the Hulk with Veronica. And I think if he did the exact same thing on Spider-Man, I doubt he'll be able to overpower that entire system of just the cage and the complete, electromagnetic repulsion field. Star-Lord, look, Natasha Romanoff, she's gotten out of almost every situation. She hasn't died of any battle wounds as yet from intense combat. I think she can take on some pretty heavy heat before we see her expire. But we have Tony Stark is still there. He's going to help. I think this is an arsenal you can't defeat.
All right, done. You got that just in time. That was good, yeah.
Just in time.
All right, ready, set, go.
I think another thing I forgot to mention was, obviously in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, Star-Lord, with the other Guardians of the Galaxy, was able to essentially stop one of the Infinity Stones from essentially destroying him. So I think we've already proven that this guy can take on an Infinity Stone. Obviously, look, Iron Man can have his fun with all these gadgets, but I think we grossly underestimate the power of Peter Parker's mind. Like, sure, the suit is Iron Man's, but I think Peter Parker's he's extremely intelligent himself, as we know from the Spider-Man lore and everything like that. So I feel like he can come up with his own conclusions as well. I just feel like Black Widow is going to be instantly incapacitated by this combat. She's not going to be in it, and it's going to be 2 people versus 1. Star-Lord already has his space gadgets and
15
stuff.
seconds.
Which can kind of combat what Iron Man's got, and then you got Spider-Man who's going to emotionally manipulate Iron Man and then stab him in the butt.
Where the armor's weakest.
Okay.
All right.
That was a good one.
That was tight. That went back and forth.
Yeah.
Once again, Basket keeps arguing for the other person though.
He loves my characters.
Yeah.
We should go first this time.
So, I think both arguments were quite strong, but really in the end, I think the main weakness to Basker's argument was Black Widow. I think Black Widow, it's really a battle between Iron Man, Star-Lord, and Spider-Man. I think Black Widow is not going to feature as much, basically because of her abilities. And I really like the arguments about just the interactions between Iron Man and Peter Parker. I think since they're so connected, you were arguing that Iron Man might not, fight Peter because they have the mentor-mentee relationship. I think Peter might be the same. I don't think Peter would want to necessarily kill Iron Man. So
the question is, why was Basker arguing for that? Iron Man's on his team.
I was so surprised. It's like, what about Peter Parker? He's a good guy too. He never brought that up.
He's just a kid. Look, he devastated Tony, so I don't know how seriously they're going to take the battle. Yeah.
But I think in the end, since Star-Lord doesn't really have a connection to Iron Man as such, they've met in Infinity War, but I don't think he really cares about him that much. So I think the battle will be effectively won by Spider-Man. So Spider-Man will probably take out Black Widow, just web her up somewhere.
Yeah.
And then Star-Lord could probably handle Iron Man. That'll be a close battle, but because they're both sort of gadget-type heroes. So, but Spider-Man and Star-Lord together, I think they will just overcome Iron Man. Just.
So you're going for Caridi then?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where the space argument came from. That came out of nowhere. And I don't know if there was any backing to it. I was very confused by that.
I was just like, we're going to go to space.
I didn't know if there was any backstory to that.
I think the only one that can actually go to space is Iron Man. I think he can actually fly into space.
Yeah, he can, because he did in Infinity War.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting argument there. I don't know where that came from. But then it was kind of dealt with in the end. I liked your argument about being able to just turn off Spider-Man's suit.
Yeah.
And I think if you kept going on with that a bit more, then I would have been more on board with you.
Well, he basically did that in Homecoming, right? He took the suit off him, so...
Yeah.
The thing is, would he do that though?
You should have said yes.
No, because I introduced that as a concept and I thought, okay, if he wanted to actually fight him and give Peter Parker the chance to fight, and still see, look, even if you fight, boy, I'm gonna be better than you. As opposed to saying, I could just turn off your suit. It's a checkmate from good mind. I don't know. I'm a bit conflicted. I don't think he would do that.
But I think in terms of Iron Man, you made good arguments, and I feel like he would have been an even match. You didn't give us much in terms of Black Widow, though. Like, there wasn't much in terms of what she could do to overcome stuff. It was just hand-to-hand combat, but, like, so can the other guys. Yeah. So...
Oh, yeah.
And, the point that you brought up about Star-Lord being half ego, I think that put it over the line.
Put it over the line, yeah.
So I'm going for Korea.
I'm actually a bit frustrated that they kind of never... That's my issue with that movie. It's like, you've explored the fact that this guy is kind of like, he's got this inherent power, and sure, it like kind of gets diminished by the fact that his father dies, but it's like, he doesn't disappear, so he's still got something in him, and we're just kind of supposed to forget about it. That was my main issue with that second guy.
And they hint about it in Guardians 1, actually. After we held this, I was like, something he's not normal.
Yeah,
something
exactly.
Like so they never actually
something
really go into
dodgy going on. Some real.
Well,
crazy.
I liked your theory that he could still have some more power. So
I also like the fact that you brought up Peter Parker's intelligence, because I think
that was good.
I mean, he's a kid, but he's a very smart guy, so that also factors in. So.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Karate. Also, makes the last round more important. makes the last round more interesting. No, but genuinely, I think Karate won that one.
Well, if you take the suits away from everyone, just pure hand-to-hand, I think Spider-Man will beat all of them.
Yeah, Tony's not augmented by any means.
Yeah.
Neither is
I think
Natasha.
Black Widow would come second. If you take everyone's suits away and then tell them to fight, Black Widow would come second.
I don't know what... Is Star-Lord any good? Like,
without his tech,
not really, right? Not really. He always has stuff.
Actually, does Star-Lord get his tech from Rocket Raccoon, or does he have his own tech?
He has his own tech.
He has his own at the
He
start.
had his own at the start, before he meets Rocket.
Because
he's got like
he's
a
in that
rabbit
temple.
tech.
He's in that temple doing all these weird flips and fucking Jimon Honsu or whatever.
Digimon Honsu.
Why are you calling him Digimon?
Digimon Honsu. That's his name. That's his name.
Digimon. It's Jimon.
No, it's Digimon Honsu. I've asked him before.
I choose you. I choose you, Honsu.
That's Pokemon, though.
Alright.
Okay.
Round 3. That's
round 3. We already know who's going to fight who.
So my team's Thor, Scarlet Witch, Groot, and your
Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, and War Machine.
Wow, okay.
I think people left their heavy hitters till the end.
Yeah, this is like a very heavy battle. Okay, that's...
Essentially, that's why I didn't include Thor in that last round on purpose.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want to fuck this bitch Captain Marvel.
All right. Yep, got it. You go first.
50.
51.
You win. You finally got it. It was 82.
82. Nice.
I think you can pick if you argue first or he argues first.
Yeah. What do you want?
Oh, argues first.
Yeah.
I can really argue first.
All right, round 3. Karate with opening arguments. We'll give you 3 minutes.
All right, so obviously Thor is kind of my king man in this approach. So firstly, just talk about Thor as a character. I think now, well and truly, he was like the only one that could really come close to Thanos' power. Just missed out on smashing him. But let's just talk about Thor. He's like a god. He's inherently powerful. He's born with this power. He's from a totally different galaxy. Like, even if all things go to crap, if he doesn't have his weapons on him, if he gets chucked in the pits, he just has this inherent ability to just come back from it. And I think by now he's kind of awakened his own power as well. He doesn't need his hammer or anything to kind of wield anything. He really knows how to bring it. Also, he's fucking sexy. The other thing is, now he's got this, I mean, if we were talking about the movies, now he's got Stormbreaker, which is an absolute ridiculous weapon. On top of that, he pretty much, I mean, according to the last movie, he's able to travel by himself between galaxies because I think he uses Stormbreaker instead of Idris Elba.
As most people use to travel between
he's got Idris Elba in his hand now, which I've always wanted to have in my hand. So obviously Thor is an absolute madman, right? Then you got Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch has been able to incapacitate the Mind Stone, as in Vision wears it, is unable to do shit when she incapacitates him. Obviously, she's hot as fuck, right? Right? We got a sexy team, right? We got a sexy tree coming up too. And also, she's able to change accents, so it just shows her versatility on the battlefield. because she used to have this fucked up Eastern European accent. Now she just has an American accent. Now the third one is Groot, and I think people underestimate Groot. Firstly, Groot is able to chop off his own arm, and that's able to hold together Stormbreaker, which just proves kind of what he's got going on, right? And then secondly, he was able to form that barrier in the first Guardians of the Galaxy that essentially withheld the power of one of the Infinity Stones, but also protected them overall, right? So that's like some next level shit. And then on top of that, you know, all three of these guys can essentially get off the ground, which is always a great advantage in battle, right? Ant-Man can't really do that, and we'll get to that later. He can get bigger, but he can't get off the ground, right? War Machine is fucking paralyzed. Fuck that guy. Seconds. He's half disabled. Disabled in the brain, disabled in the body. All right, these are extreme arguments. I apologize for anyone. So I think these three would obviously make a great combination. Thor and Scarlet Witch just using their powers, and Groot just forming this ridiculous force field around them. I mean, who are you going to fuck with, bro? 10
seconds.
Come at me. Come at me. Come at me. I'm just going to keep saying that.
I think he's done. All right, you got 3 minutes, Basker. Go for it.
Okay, we've got Captain Marvel, possibly the most powerful Avenger in this particular phase. We've seen a bit of her power, I think, in the recent movie. Even before she was inhibited, it was quite powerful. She could take on probably almost all the Kree agents, all of the insurgencies, and she didn't really show her potential towards the end. I think post-Captain Marvel movie, Captain Marvel was powerful enough to beat Thor pre-Ragnarok, given her full abilities. She's definitely much more powerful in the 10 or 20 or so years since that time. Think about how much power progression she had in just that one, couple of days. I reckon even with Thor and Stormbringer and the Stormbreaker having the Bifrost, I think Captain Marvel is a contender for Thor. Possibly even more so because she can survive in outer space in case there's any planetary difficulties, aka planets getting destroyed and shit. So if that's an issue, she can go toe to toe with Thor. Now Ant-Man, one of the things that's not, I think he's one of the most underrated Marvel characters. He's not just someone who can go in and out of the quantum realm, but I think his capacity to manipulate, his own mass, it lends to a lot of interesting physics. We've seen that in his combat when he's, running at a pace, goes tiny, comes back up again, everything's conserved. So his energy is conserved, momentum's conserved. He can still deal out massive amounts of damage while he's in his tiny form. War Machine, on the other hand, relies purely on his arsenal of, he's got incendiary, he's got similar power beam technology to Iron Man's suit, and he's also got his own specific minigun loaded on his right shoulder. So in terms of War Machine going straight ahead with Groot, he can deal a lot of damage to Groot from long range before Groot can even do anything to retaliate. Incendiary is definitely a weakness for Groot, even though he is made of a specific, a mythical type of elemental wood. I don't think is completely, free from harm. Scarlet Witch is going to be an issue, but I think Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, and War Machine all combined can counter Scarlet Witch's magic. Ant-Man alone, I do think, is a possible contender for Scarlet Witch. If she can't see him, she can't necessarily manipulate him directly. And she's not a defensive user. She's an offensive user of magic, so she needs to know what she's hitting and how she's going to do it. That's how I'll leave my first opening comments for them.
Okay, we'll give you 2 minutes for a rebuttal.
All right. I know everyone says, look, Captain Marvel is the most powerful Avenger, but I don't think she might be. We don't know. First of all, I think, and I'm going to have to bring the movies into this. We never know what happens with her power. So that fucking engine blows up and she absorbs the power. No one knows how she's able to keep it, but she does. But we don't really know where it comes from. And who knows? She might be able to lose that power. She's not like a character like Thor, where he's like brought up from this different realm and it's just natural for him to have this inherent power. Whereas Captain Marvel's like this weirdo and we don't really understand. She's this human. They don't explain why she's able to hold this power in this weird engine that's made by Marvel. Stupid movie. Anyway, another thing, according to the movie at least, Captain Marvel has like no emotional depth, I feel. So I feel like she's not really fighting for anyone. She doesn't, like, if you actually look at her throughout that movie, it doesn't seem like she really gives a shit about anything that's going on. Things just happen. And so I don't think she actually gives a fuck about Ant-Man or War Machine, to be very honest. Like, she's not going to care at all. Have you seen the trailer? Looks like she doesn't give a fuck about anyone in that trailer. The other thing is, War Machine, look, I think War Machine's good, but once again, he is heavily reliant on his machinery. He can only really stand if he has that thing around him. When you have someone like Hulk, who can just literally just overpower the shit out of that suit and bust it, or you got like Groot. Huh?
You don't have Hulk though.
Sorry, Thor. Thor is a Hulk. Very good. Or you got something like Groot who can just get his vines in and just kind of unplug all that crap and just leave him on the floor, in a state. It's looking bad. And obviously, Scarlet Witch has the ability to incapacitate a lot of power. I feel like her ability to manipulate they haven't really defined what her power is in the movies properly, but I feel like she can kind of hold off Captain Marvel to an extent. She might be a bit overpowered, but when you got Thor coming in, I feel like this team isn't much of a match.
All right,
Ant-Man is great, but fuck him.
Okay. Good mini Captain Marvel review that you shoved in there as well.
I thought I'd get into that one.
All right, Busker, go for it.
Just before we start, so this is just the second rebuttal. There's one more left after this.
You got closing arguments after this.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Okay.
Ready, set, go.
All right. Captain Marvel can wipe the floor with Scarlet Witch in a moment, I reckon. She can completely obliterate her existence. Captain Marvel's power is sourced from the Space Stone. Now, we know that she absorbed quite a bit of this. We don't know how much is left, but I think what we can assume is it's not like a limited range. There seems to be some sort of an unlimited nature to her power. Even before she was able to access the complete outlet of this energy with her own hands, she was able to blow holes through thick metal, repel quite a lot of infantry folk with weapons with her own hands. And when she had a full range of powers towards the end of the Captain Marvel movie, she basically went right through entire spaceships. So I think if she just focused purely on Wanda Maximoff for like a moment, completely obliterate her into dust. Now, then focusing strictly on Thor, their problem is going to be Stormbreaker, the weapon. Weapon itself is not completely unbeatable. So it was forged in the heart of a dying star. Yes, it's made from Uru. Yes, it is made from a mythical element. However, it was bound with Groot's wood. Now, this is very important. It's a mythical wood. Weakness is magic and intense power from an Infinity Stone, of which Captain Marvel is sourced from the Space Stone. So she can use that power, really intense power, I reckon could take out the handle, possibly even incapacitate the weapon, which makes Thor pretty useless long range. Then he's got to use his fists and get into close range battle like he did in Ragnarok. At which point, I want to introduce a little bit of Ant-Man's abilities. Now, when he runs and when he does his attacks, he's pretty harmless. If he increases in size and goes huge, then he becomes a real problem. Now, problem is in mass. His abilities can deal great damage. Wanda has only certain limits she can contain with. So if Ant-Man goes big, he's pretty unmanageable. And his momentum conservation, if he drops his mass, his velocity goes right up. I reckon he could do a sonic blast and completely get out and do some damage to Groot. So,
all right, done. Give you 1.5 minutes for closing. Yeah, we'll give you a bit longer. 1.5. All right, go for it.
All right, so I think, first of all, Thor took a freaking dying star to his chest before he even made the Stormbreaker weapon, right? So Stormbreaker is kind of a bit of icing on the top, but I think Thor himself is real. He's the real kind of key player in all of this. Even if you lose Stormbreaker, as we saw at the end of Ragnarok, he doesn't need a weapon to harness his, the storm that he brings to kind of the battlefield. The other thing is, so close range is not an issue. He can be as far away as he wants. I reckon he just electrocute people. The other thing is, yes, Ant-Man is great. He has a lot of these abilities, but I think what we saw in Civil War was that when he is big, he does get a bit clumsy, and the strategy that was used was by Spider-Man just tripping him up. And I think, Spider-Man's got webs, but Groot's got vines. And so I think the same sort of thing can be employed against Ant-Man. The other thing is, I think I feel like War Machine's only going to last a few seconds on the battlefield, to be very honest. I think once he's taken care of, it really comes down to Captain Marvel. Even if Captain Marvel and Thor can't balance itself out, I feel like Groot's got enough potential to kind of figure out what's going on with Ant-Man and War Machine, incapacitate them. Then you've got Scarlet Witch to just fuck with everyone from behind. And she's hot. So, yeah.
So you got 1:30 as well, Bhaskar?
Alrighty.
Go for it.
Okay, so I think the real issue of this battle is going to be long range versus short range. Who's going to be able to deal more damage over a longer period of time? Now, Scarlet Witch and Groot are short range users. They have magic. They're not very good at long range. Scarlet Witch can repel, and she can do a lot of powerful magic close up. But Thor's the only one who can actually deal long range damage. Whereas you got Captain Marvel and War Machine from a distance together, they could probably off Groot pretty quick. Thor might lead the battle and then distract Captain Marvel to take the attention away. Then you got Ant-Man and War Machine to deal with Scarlet Witch by themselves, which will prove a hard battle. War Machine just pummeling him, Scarlet Witch with a minigun, 120 rounds per second, right? And that's caliber round bullets. She's got to put in all of her effort to block that. She can't just beat that with one hand. And I think by that time, Ant-Man can just minimize God Baranus, completely expand and just obliterate her. She can't do anything from the inside, right? She's screwed.
Is this while Ant-Man's small going up the anus, or is he just going?
Hey, he needs some practice before he goes Thanos, man. This is strictly it's while he's small. And look,
that makes it better.
The big gun is going to be versing Thor. That's going to be a challenge. The idea here, though, is not necessarily to kill him. All they've got to do is take him into a place where he can't survive, and separate him from Stormbreaker. So if Captain Marvel can channel her power, which is if no one else here has an Infinity Stone power that I'm aware of, so she's the only one that can channel that kind of power. If she can focus that directly onto Thor, I think that's it. Game, set, match.
Whew.
This is a tough one.
Should we give them one more minute to kind of just clear it up? I feel like I need another minute.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
One more minute.
Both of you get one more minute.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so I think the argument being brought up is that, yes, Captain Marvel does source power from the Infinity Stone, but she doesn't have a constant source. So, like, eventually, through some fucking lack of logic in the movie, Infinity Stone was used to make that power that Marvel used, and that kind of transferred to Captain Marvel. But the Time Stone, or the Space Stone, right? Space Stone, yeah. Space Stone is not always with her, right? So it's like, it's not like you're constantly getting this unlimited power. We don't know what the extent of her power is. Also, I feel like in a battle, there's always, the most important thing is where you're coming from. And a person like Captain Marvel that has no fucking personality and really doesn't fight for anyone, doesn't seem like, she doesn't empathize with humans, doesn't look like she can remember anything about being human. What the fuck is she going to care about Ant-Man or War Machine? She's not going to be on their side. So she's screwed. I don't think she's actually very useful at all because of where she actually comes from as a person rather than her abilities.
All right, done.
So you just took another opportunity.
Another mini review. I gave it an extra minute, and he just did another review.
Oh, this is going to be good.
All right, Bhaskar, one last minute. Go for it.
So because I have the last word, I'm going to spend this time talking about Captain Marvel and why it's such a good movie. So it's the last word, and Kiriti can't do shit about it. I don't think she is unmotivated. She's a scree, but she spent most of her childhood and her life on Earth. She's a human being. And I think the prospect of fighting an Asgardian is going to definitely get her blood boiling because they were the rulers of people. She's going to try and say, fuck you. I'm going to take my powers and completely show you what a human scree could do. So she definitely would have the potential to bring the game right in. She doesn't need the Power Stone. She absorbed a bit of the power, but it sustained her for such a long time. I shudder to think what she can do. Remember, we haven't seen her full potential. I think we have seen Thor's full potential to the point where we've seen him almost, get completely depleted. So at this point, we don't know what the limit is.
10 seconds.
Again, War Machine and Ant-Man, they make a considerable entourage. I just think War Machine's arsenal would take out Groot, and Ant-Man combined with one of the other two can make an unbeatable duo.
All right, you can go first.
Did that really clear anything up? Probably not.
Gave us a bit more of a review of Captain Marvel.
The more time you give me, the more I'm going to shit on the movie.
So I'll start with Kiriti's arguments. I think the good one was that Thor is born with powers. It's not something he acquired from. Whereas Captain Marvel, she acquired her powers. Scarlet Witch, she also acquired powers.
Is she? I don't know what that. To be honest, I don't even know what
you guys did talk about. You talked about this is something you missed out on. You talked about what's her name, Captain Marvel getting her powers from the Space Stone.
Yep.
Scarlet Witch actually got her powers from the Mind Stone.
Yeah.
How? When? Does she?
Yeah.
In Age of Ultron.
So
really?
Yeah.
How?
They used the stone to experiment on. At the start of Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
And they're in that facility and they're getting experimented on using the Mind Stone.
Oh, really? Fuck, I never picked that up.
So
I didn't know about this.
That's how Vision and her are connected because Vision has the Mind Stone.
Yeah. So that's why she could turn off his thing. So you missed out on that one.
Yeah, I didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't even want to fucking pick it.
I was going to mention it, but I thought I shouldn't give that.
It was really tough argument actually. Bhaskar brought up some good stuff as well with Captain Marvel and her powers, and
I think the fact that Bhaskar brought up the Captain Marvel being even with Thor before Ragnarok, I guess.
Ragnarok, yeah.
And then Captain Marvel at the end of Captain Marvel being about the same.
Yeah.
And you brought up a good point that you expect her to be stronger in the 20 or so years since she's left.
Yeah, she should have.
She should be.
She literally just got her powers in that movie, so she would have learned how to use her powers better over the years. The Ant-Man arguments were also very good.
Up the anus.
Yeah.
I love it up there.
I thought that was once someone picked Ant-Man, I thought that was going to come up at some stage.
Yeah.
I did think
I was like, fuck it, what's the point?
I honestly wonder how Thanos is going to prevent that from happening, but no.
War Machine, like once you take away his armor, he's
not
literally
much.
just a body.
The only thing Bhaskar argued, most of his argument was centered around
Long range.
around.
Where are you getting these stats from? 120? I was like, where's this from?
It's basically a minigun on his shoulder.
I think
It's true.
about 70% of his argument was Ant-Man and Captain Marvel, and War Machine was kind of on the periphery.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Kiri's argument was more complete. He kind of included everyone. I think the Groot argument against Ant-Man is very valid. I think that's what would happen because Spider-Man did it. I think Groot could do the same. Groot's probably got stronger stuff than Spider-Man, right? So stronger than Spider-Man.
I agree with that, but also the fact that War Machine could just stand way far away and just shoot at them.
Yeah. And
then Scarlet Witch and Groot can't do shit because they can't get close enough to him.
But Scarlet Witch can do force the. She can do stuff, but I guess she'll have to concentrate all of her energy on protecting everyone from War Machine. So she might be occupied by that, and then it would really just be Groot and Thor taking on Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I think Captain Marvel and Thor is like
they're
pretty much evened up.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Captain Marvel sucks.
I think even though you tried to rubbish her a lot, I think it evened up between those two.
Yeah.
Who made the better argument about the other ones?
So Groot versus... So it was Groot, Scarlet Witch, War Machine, and Ant-Man.
Yeah.
I don't even know, to be honest.
I reckon Groot... Like I said before, I think Groot could take Ant-Man if he turns giant.
Yep.
So that's one thing that could happen.
I think the fact that War Machine's probably a liability in this situation.
Yeah.
In terms of... You did make some good points, but also, once you take him out of the suit, he's...
Because Groot could encapsulate him in his vines, and he might just be trapped.
Yeah. And the other guys all don't. Well, Ant-Man needs a suit as well.
Yeah.
And Ant-Man and War Machine.
I never brought that. I should have brought that up.
They need suits, but
Ant-Man is very reliant. Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
Groot and Scarlet Witch don't. I
Yeah.
guess. You did bring that up though, so I don't know if we can add that in. I don't know if we can take that into consideration.
Yeah.
I forgot to talk about that. I just like Ant-Man.
He did make the point that once you take War Machine out of the suit, he's pretty much a body.
But are we talking about the person or the full thing? Like Thor without Stormbreaker is a bit like Tony Stark without his suit.
Is it?
No,
in Ragnarok, he didn't have it the whole time.
But
that's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
I think he's saying he comes into the arena with his suit on.
Yeah.
But then once they take the suit off, then
I think Thor's still...
He'll come to the arena with Stormbreaker.
Again, it's about how he was born, so he's got his own kind of thing going. Yeah.
Well, I thought that the reason I like Ragnarok so much as a movie is not even just because it's fucking hilarious. It's a great movie, but I feel like it's unrelated to all these arguments. Is that the whole point? Towards the end, that little flashback where he finds out he doesn't need
Mjolnir.
It's just that whole line are you Thor, god of hammers? It's not to do with it's his inherent power, and so Stormbreaker is Stormbreaker, but Thor is Thor. He doesn't need it, but it adds an advantage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Well, that's why I don't honestly, that's the reason I like Thor is because of his inherent power. I reckon that's just fucking sick.
It is. I think at the end of Ragnarok, it definitely says that.
Piece of shit.
Thor's the only one out of all of these guys, and Groot, I guess, that are born with their powers.
That's honestly why I like Thor so much. And I kept on getting pissed off that they just shat on him in every movie, like until Ragnarok. It was just like,
And he was pretty
this
much...
dude is like from another planet and they don't even care. They just treat him like he's a fucking piece of crap.
He was pretty much the main hero in Infinity War as well.
Yeah, he had his...
They brought him back there. They just to make justice to all that. Yeah.
We'll be talking Endgame, some stuff about Endgame, just after we come to a conclusion about this.
Also, after this, we should pick our team if we didn't have to...
Yeah, we'll do that too.
Pick a proper team.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going for Karate. Basker was pretty much there the whole time.
He was there.
Yeah.
I guess you got to see how much damage can War Machine do before he's ripped out of his suit.
That's what I took into consideration.
Yeah.
I feel like he couldn't do enough to worry them.
I think Scarlet Witch might be... If Scarlet Witch wasn't occupied by War Machine, I think Kirby would win. But I think War Machine will occupy Scarlet Witch. I think Ant-Man and Captain Marvel might be able to take Thor and Groot.
What the fucking bullshit. So we're calling it a draw.
There's got to be... There's no draws. There's got to be a tiebreaker.
We've got to get a winner.
So you reckon Kirby? You're not changing?
No. I just think the amount of damage War Machine can do, like Basker said, to keep Scarlet Witch occupied is probably not enough.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah. Scarlet Witch destroyed the Mind Stone.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Which you'd
Which is
imagine.
pretty
I know. I like...
Far out, man. What are you
To be
doing?
honest, I feel like I need more time to go into each of these characters.
Yeah.
3 characters is like hard to fit into like...
I think you spent too long reviewing Captain Marvel.
Hey, bro, you give me an opportunity to speak, I would trash that movie.
That's why I'm hesitant to give it to him, because like half of his arguments were just how bad Captain Marvel was as a movie.
Hey, that's his main character. I've got to trash a movie.
Okay. So we know Scarlet Witch has destroyed characters that have powers from Infinity Stones. So she's done to Vision. She could probably take on Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
But she needs a
that's not
full
even-
concentration.
That's not even the battle. It will be like,
Also, I feel like Scarlet Witch, they haven't really properly defined her powers, but she's never been on the offensive. She's really a defensive player. So who knows what happens when she's
she
actually on the offensive.
unleashes.
That is
yeah.
true.
She
Especially in the
always
MCU.
defends against Vision, and she's always defending against, like, even in Infinity War, it's like defending against things that are coming against saving other people. But, like, she never goes out and tries to fucking wreak havoc.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Okay.
I think we have to give it to Karate.
All right. We'll go. But it was very close.
Yeah. I nearly gave it to Basker. I kind of talked myself out of it.
I think having Thor there gets him over the line.
I think it was Scarlet Witch that.
Thor and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
And Groot's not a bad addition too. He's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon Groot's a bit underrated.
Yeah.
I reckon Groot, like, I can't probably remember that first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but he does create like this force
But that's
that contains it.
That's a different Groot though.
That's like, the full.
No, but like,
it's like,
but
this Groot would.
I mean, what Groot are we talking about?
It's
Infinity War.
If we go, are we?
But
no,
Basker,
but you're going
Basker
back.
didn't say anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, but like, if you're talking about a character, but also he's like a teenager now.
I think this Groot probably has the ability to. do
Yeah,
that
that's what I'm
stuff.
saying. Like,
Yeah.
He probably has
inherent-
the ability,
He's just a
Dunno.
young kid that doesn't have the.
he's still got his
mindset.
memory, right? From.
No, it's a
no.
totally different
Yeah.
character.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a different Groot.
Yeah.
But he's probably capable of doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's close, but we'll have to go.
We'll just award it to Karate.
Okay.
And I think the reason he won it was because he sacrificed Hawkeye in the first battle. And then
I think that was.
I can't believe that.
And then
Fuck
Basker
it up.
had to put in Doctor Strange.
I swear, if Doctor Strange was in any of the rounds or three, he would have fucked it up.
If you had Doctor Strange later on, you would have
You know what? If you chose Thor and Hulk, I still wouldn't have chosen Captain Marvel
Yeah.
because I fucking hate that bitch. No, I don't hate her, but I just don't like what they did in the movie. I was not a fan of kind of how they brought up.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's your ideal team going to be?
All right.
Okay, let's just pick three ideal teams.
No, 6.
Six with
Six,
the same budget restraints
Yeah, same-
as well.
same budget.
Okay. All right.
Same
let's
budget.
have a look.
Like ideally, what you have picked. I think I would have picked Thor, Doctor Strange, which brings that brings me to 400k, and then I got 300k left. I'd probably go Iron Man. I've got 180 left for 3 people, so it'd have to be probably Spider-Man. No, so it's 6, right? So
Yes.
I go
So-
Thor, Doctor Strange, Iron Man.
Yep.
what's that, 520.
And then Spider-Man, which
Then
takes
Spider-Man,
it up to 600.
Then
and you
I'd
have to
go
to
Hawkeye. No, then I'd probably go Star-Lord, and I don't know whether I'd choose between Spider-Man or Ant-Man. Or I might be now leaning towards Ant-Man with this new movie coming up, but probably Star-Lord and Groot, I think. Or Mantis. Between Groot and Mantis. Would be my ideal team.
Do you have one, Bhaskar?
Yeah, I'd probably go Thor, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, which is already 650.
Yep.
And then
Shit.
last 50 would be probably Rocket Raccoon, because just I think he's a bit more. He's got more arsenal than Star-Lord.
He's a bit of a badass.
And I think he's a little bit harder to hit. So yeah, just cap it up with 5 at that point. And you
So you're just going to pick 5.
with Thor, Captain Marvel, and Doctor Strange, you've got Thor on the offensive. Thor and Captain Marvel teamed up instead of fighting each other. Very little. I don't know of anyone else who can come against that apart from the godlike characters. And then you got Doctor Strange just on the side.
I just wonder how much do you reckon Hulk can cop?
So I was gonna pick Hulk
because I reckon he could cop. He could get hit by all this stuff.
Hulk
he got hit
can't
by
die.
gamma radiation. Yeah, I know.
Hulk can't die.
He tries to kill himself.
Yeah.
Well, he tries to put a bullet in his brain.
I don't think Hulk can die. I think it's basically impossible for him to die.
in the MCU, he just gets more tougher.
And saying that, the full Hulk potential, I think, is still to come.
Yeah.
In terms of
Is that the one you guys were talking about, the Hulk? No, you were saying there's someone you would have picked, but
Oh, well, I was talking about Black Panther before, but I would pick the Hulk because I think his full potential will be better than Thor. And if you could put Bruce Banner's intelligence and Hulk strength together, that's the best character you could probably come up with.
you reckon better than Thor and Captain Marvel?
He's smarter than Captain Marvel and Thor. And
True,
he's
but
strong,
like how much
equally
control?
Strong. If he's got Bruce Banner,
If he's got full control?
yeah, full control. Yeah.
But you got to think of the power ladder. If Thanos can take out Hulk single-handedly without the use of an Infinity Stone,
But saying that, Hulk probably went into that cocky. He didn't know who he was coming up against. If he knew who he was coming up
But he
against,
beat him into such a pulp that he couldn't even fucking get it up
but
again.
we don't know why he didn't come back.
true.
So I think he came prepared.
And
for
if
it.
he had a bit more strategy on the way he went into that fight, I think he would have.
I think the Hulk's definitely going to make a big appearance in this next movie. I think he's going to be.
We'll get to that in a second.
He's got to be.
Yeah,
if he
he was-
fucking doesn't rock up in his next movie,
he was completely.
I'm going to burn the fucking.
He was more or less absent from Infinity War, so I'd
On
imagine.
purpose, I think, yeah.
You got to bring him in.
So I'm going to go Hulk, Vision, who's got an Infinity Stone, which is one of the most powerful thing in the universe. So
That's true.
Yeah.
Vision's just like this.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many good characters at the top. It's freaking hard to figure.
Black Panther for his for his
Vibranium.
utilities.
Yeah.
He's got so much. He's got an army, so he could bring his army with him. You would probably have to go Ant-Man. Or I'll go the Wasp actually.
Praise
the
be to
Wasp,
Hanuman.
The Wasp is better at fighting than Ant-Man,
Yeah.
and then she's smart as well.
Yeah.
And then
But I feel like Ant-Man goes further. He's more of a risk taker than her.
yeah, that's
It's more
true.
by the book. Yeah.
I actually wrote a mathematical equation for Ant-Man here that I didn't get to use, but it was him. I mentioned it briefly in one of my arguments that he could break the sound barrier if he was going fast enough.
Break the sound barrier and therefore do what?
So here's the thing: conservation of momentum. So he's running, and he's got a certain mass. If you drop the mass, his velocity goes straight up.
Yeah.
So if he drops his mass tenfold, his speed goes up 10 times.
Can he
and
hold his mass though? With the impact that he makes? I guess that's
I've seen him do it.
that's the question.
I've seen him do it in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I just don't know how the logic works, because I've seen Hank Pym shrink an entire building and then roll it across like a suitcase. So mass isn't conserved when you shrink.
No,
when he
I think
goes heavy, mass is conserved. He's got the weight of a giant. So I don't know how that works.
I think it's a different tech though. His suit makes him conserve the mass, but when they shrink the building, it doesn't have a suit around it.
So you
it
keep
doesn't
the mass,
conserve
but you lose the weight. So you bending gravity?
No, you can't. Yeah, that's the thing. You got to take out one or the other.
Anyway,
That's an Ant-Man discussion.
I'll pick the Wasp, and then the
Therefore,
last two.
you bend gravity, you bend time, bitch. There we go. There's Endgame. I figured it out.
Rocket Raccoon and probably Shuri.
Okay.
Huh? Who? Oh,
Sure.
Shuri.
yeah.
Because Shuri's like
yeah.
Iron Man,
That's-
Iron Man light. So
But like,
Yeah.
possibly even better. She's fucking around with getting rid of
Vibranium.
she's taking out the fucking Mind Stone from this guy.
She doesn't even need to be fighting. She can just do the prep beforehand, and everyone else will fuck. Yeah, fuck them.
Actually, I don't understand why she was on the list because she needs a lab to do anything.
No, she can prep beforehand.
In the field, she's fucked.
Electrocute the lab. Blow it up.
She could make a Black Panther suit for herself.
Do you reckon that in Infinity War, do you reckon she separated Vision from the Mind Stone?
We'll talk
properly?
about it in a sec.
That's the other question.
Talk about it in a sec.
I've got a theory
He
about
does.
that.
He does go all grey and shit.
So my team, I'd go Hulk, Iron Man,
Yep.
Black Panther,
Yep.
Spider-Man.
Yep.
How many is that now? So
You got 4.
4. 2 more. I'd go Rocket and Groot. Rocket and Groot are good friends.
They are the ultimate combo.
And the rest of them,
the original combo.
I think Rocket's a really underrated character because he can make fucking bombs out of shit. Yeah.
Right. He's got like this collection of arms and eyes that you don't know.
I know, right? Like he doesn't need them, but he's got them.
And I've got a bit of a tech science theme, so I've got Bruce Banner, Iron Man, Black Panther, Spider-Man.
They'll all just get in a room and talk.
They're all pretty smart.
What do you think
guys.
about Doctor Strange's mate?
He's
I
good.
think he was underrated. I'm
Yeah.
surprised no one took
No,
him.
he's
Do
like
you think he can do the same thing?
Not as good, but he can do.
he can do pretty much.
Can he open up dimensions?
Yeah, he can open up the mirror dimension.
Honestly,
Yeah.
just opening up dimensions is just like so. With Doctor Strange, can he open up? He just opens up just not just the mirror dimension. He can open up any dimension.
Well, he can open up the mirror dimension easily, but the problem with other dimensions is he can't just enter it. He's got to create a portal or he's got to use a spell. The mirror dimension is very instantaneous. Though, so.
Okay.
There are some theorists out there who still think he did the mirror dimension before he gave Thanos the time stone. So when he snapped, he just did everything inside a concealed.
You know
controlled
that big
environment.
guy that they chuck in that other dimension? The guy, Thanos' minion.
Oh yeah,
That
his
huge guy.
his brute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they chop off his hand.
Yeah.
But does that guy ever come back in that movie? No.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
He does.
He does.
How does he get back?
Bruce Banner kills him. He doesn't have a hand.
Yeah, but how does he get back from a different
the
dimension?
No, he's just in like.
Is he just teleported to a different?
It's not. He's just teleported
I
somewhere.
think he was in the
else.
Himalayas or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just goes to some mountain.
Yeah. I think it was still Earth or something.
I think the only difference between Doctor Strange and Wong is that Doctor Strange has a time stone.
Yeah.
But I think Doctor Strange is big. He's got more control and more.
He's a sorcerer.
He's got more
Yeah.
experience as
He's a
well because he
sorcerer
was stuck in the time
supreme,
loop for
yeah.
quite a while.
Yeah.
Also,
but-
finally
yeah.
did go back in Spider-Man and find the fucking place in the game. I mean,
Oh yeah, the headquarters.
yeah, I didn't.
Sanctum
Yeah,
It's there. It's
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
It's pretty good because when you go past, it's like, yeah, this place always seems like there's some weird, wacky shit going on. It's like, I'm like, oh fuck, is this where it is?
Yeah.
No, he actually says like strange something.
Yeah,
Like, he
yeah,
uses it
something
there.
strange
Yeah.
going on. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk Endgame theories then.
Endgame, yeah.
Is that
So
what
I've
we're
got-
going to do?
I've got some questions actually, some prediction questions. But before that, I guess we can all talk about how much we're anticipating Endgame.
It's going to be shit.
If it's as good as Captain Marvel, Karini will riot.
In terms of box office, they're saying that it's going to do 300 million, which is going to be all-time world record
All time, fam.
in the first weekend, and it's got a chance at beating Avatar. I don't think it will, but
I don't think it
Does
will.
Avatar hold it for?
Avatar holds it because of all the
holds it for what?
3D.
Opening.
No, it's overall.
overall.
It's going to get opening. Well, Infinity War got opening, so it's going to beat Infinity War.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, in terms of Avatar's use of 3D, everyone watched Avatar in 3D, so it was just an extra.
But how much extra do you pay? $2.
No, it's like,
Back then it was a bit more.
and then you got the glass and shit on
Yeah.
top of that.
Avatar tickets were $28.
What?
Yeah, when
Were
it
they?
came out.
What? Did I pay $28 for that?
I think everyone paid something close around $25, $28.
So
That's
it was
partly why the box office
was
was so high.
expensive. Yeah,
Yeah.
So I doubt it'll beat Avatar, but yeah,
I think it'll do
who
very
cares?
well.
It's a better movie. It'll probably be better than Avatar.
Yeah. All right.
Infinity War is better than Avatar.
So I've got some questions, endgame predictions. So we can all answer them in turns. So which Avenger, if any, will die? If you had to take a bet, so if you had to put money on it, who?
Captain America.
You think Captain America?
Captain America.
Yeah, I think I've seen too much of the top billing to know what. I'd say Captain America because I'm just expecting it. Even before I found out about the casting thing. Yeah, I'd say him.
Okay. What do you reckon?
What casting thing? Have
Oh.
they recast him? Have they?
No, it's just their contracts are officially over, but it's not just him. It's also
Yeah,
Robert Downey
Iron
Jr.
Man's also done.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not going to be Iron Man because they put him up for risk. Like by stabbing him through like that side. So they've got him on. Yeah, I guess he could be Captain America. And I feel like Captain America needs to really shine in this movie because he didn't do much in Infinity War.
He had a sick entry scene though.
Yeah, he had a badass entry scene.
Yeah.
But then Thor beat it.
Yeah,
I think Captain America's entry scene was nearly as good.
I feel like Thor's scene to rock up at the end was ridiculous. Like,
His line was good. He's like, "Give me Thanos."
Yeah.
Show me Thanos. Bring me Thanos.
Bring me Thanos.
Yeah.
and then Groot just screaming.
Yeah.
Have you watched the reactions to that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Yeah.
So you reckon Cap as well?
You reckon Cap as well?
Yeah, I reckon it could be Cap. I mean, who else could it be? Like,
So I think
it's not going to be Hulk.
No.
It's not going to be Thor. Nah, not.
I hope not.
Yeah. He's just getting good.
I think it's going to be Iron Man. So I think it's going to get to a situation where it's going to be Cap's going to sacrifice himself, but Iron Man does it instead of Cap.
I think the whole thing now is that you just want Iron Man to be happy in the end. I think after everything, he's like he started it all.
Yeah.
I can't see them killing him off.
No, I think what's going to happen is he's going to like transfer his consciousness into like, you know, the cloud or something. So he's going to be like the new Jarvis.
The next Jarvis.
Yeah.
You reckon?
I think because it goes back to the line in Avengers when Cap's like, you're not the kind of guy who's going to put your body on the line for the team. I think it's going to come back to that. And I think Iron Man's going to do it.
I think he won't die, and I think he will just be happy. I think he's going to
You
live
know
out.
what? What happens if they both die?
They both could die.
They both could die.
And I reckon that would be pretty fucked. But it'll be. I reckon it's on the cards.
Yeah, it's on the cards.
What if Gwyneth Paltrow dies and Iron Man ends up getting it on with Captain America?
That's what we all want.
I would love to see that bromance.
That's what we all want.
Bro, and then Ant-Man just sneaks up everyone's anus.
Full size.
I
don't know what size he is.
I think that everyone is also kind of glazed over the fact that half of all the Avengers are gone, but they're kind of expecting to come back somehow.
Yep.
But that's because there's no closure.
That's the next question.
Here's the thing: I honestly think the Russo brothers aren't going to renege on that. I think they're going to keep them dead.
No.
In this particular universe or wherever they are, I think they're going to keep them dead. Just to get
in this universe, you reckon they're going to split in universe for the second Black Panther movie?
Because my theory is that the people who faded didn't die; they went somewhere else. All of them went into like a parallel universe,
right.
So that they're all existing separate, but they're not dead. They just think everyone else is dead.
I like the fact that there could be a multiverse, but I also feel like it's too complex. And saying that the whole point of this movie is to bring back everyone, I think.
Exactly.
So if they don't do that...
So if they're all happy in some other dimension, what's the point?
Yeah,
What's the point?
It does kind of
I think the whole point of it is to bring them back. So maybe not all of them come back the same way they were when they left.
What you mean, like with two arms and
I think
one leg?
Comes back as White Panther.
I think a good theory is that when everyone comes back, because everyone knows that Disney now has Fox as well, when people come back, there's going to be some mutations that happen, which forms the X-Men.
Yeah, that's right.
You reckon that's going to be the origins for the X-Men?
It could be, because why would the X-Men just not be in it up till now?
For all this time.
I thought they kept them out on purpose because it was getting a bit complex with.
They couldn't
Fox
use them.
They couldn't use
They could have,
them.
but
They couldn't use
They
them.
couldn't use them.
Yeah.
They couldn't use them.
Physically couldn't. Yeah, actually.
So now that they can use them, they're probably going to...
Instead of doing like a hard reboot, that's a good way to bring them in.
Yeah. But yeah, I think people will come back, but probably not in the way we expect them to.
Yeah.
So,
I think, it's...
We're leading on to that second question that I had. So who do you think will be the first to get undusted?
I think they'll all just come back together.
At the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah.
That would, I mean, why would they come back differently? I'm presuming it's just Time Stone that's going to...
Well,
it has to be Time Stone.
Oh, and the lead-on question to this is, do you think any characters are permanently dead?
Gamora.
I hope.
Because she was killed pre-snap.
She was killed pre-snap. I think she's dead.
She's not going to come back.
Unless...
Hands down, not going to come back.
So this is my prediction. There's going to be some time travel involved. If they go far back enough to prevent anyone who has died as a result of Thanos' actions, then they can save everyone. Without them ever having to be snapped.
Exactly. They can save everyone in existence.
Yeah.
But I don't think... I think they'll only save the people from the
far too
snap.
complex once you start going there. Yeah.
So Loki's gone, Gamora's gone.
Loki's gone, Gamora's gone.
Yep,
Yep.
I agree.
Although Loki maybe not, because he's like mischievous.
He's a
fella.
shifty
He's
bastard.
a shifty. He's a shifty.
I
boy.
reckon he's out.
Yeah.
I reckon he's out.
Have you seen the theory how Loki is actually Bruce Banner in
Yeah.
Infinity War?
Yeah, I've seen that theory. Yeah,
And that's why he can't turn into the Hulk?
yeah. But
No, but then there was that scene where the Hulk came out of him and then went back in. What do you reckon? Remember that scene?
yeah,
Right
I don't think it's alive.
I don't think it's true.
Again, Loki's a shifty bastard, so
But
don't trust him.
I think Loki may still be alive, but probably dead. But Loki and Gamora.
So Gamora won't be in Guardians 3.
Doubt it.
Yeah.
Who disappears at the end?
Mostly everyone except the big six.
Yeah.
And
Bucky Barnes disappears.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you reckon he's going to come back?
Yeah.
Do you reckon? I feel like if they're not going to do movies with him, they might keep him. Oh, no,
They're doing
actually,
a
they'll
TV
probably
show.
just bring everyone back.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to.
I want Doctor Strange to come back to find out what he saw in the 14 million possibilities and what.
I reckon Doctor Strange will come back and then tell them how to figure it out, and then like
I think
these
it'll
people
be a
come
final
back
battle. It'll be a final battle. They'll
with
all
them
come back.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they'll fight Thanos.
It'll be a total
Yeah.
madness.
Yeah.
I don't think it would just be like these guys figure it all out, then they come back, because that would be a bit of a waste of the people that come back. I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah. Will there be an end credit scene?
Yes. There'll be two, I reckon.
Let's be with that duck.
Maybe.
So do you think there'll be like serious end credit scenes or just like...
There'll be one, probably.
So
Black
they-
Panther.
something up
Black
to-
Panther.
No, I think it'll be new big baddie. New big baddie.
Adam Warlock.
No,
No, he's a
like
good guy.
new big baddie.
Oh,
like
really?
new Thanos.
Like the new Thanos.
Yeah, Galactus or something.
Who is it?
Yeah.
Who is it in the comics?
No idea. It could be
Kang?
anyone. Oh, it could be Kang.
Who the fuck is Kang?
Well, theory. You think there's going to be time travel involved?
Yeah.
What if they do time travel and mess up the time?
And
the
Kang's
time
not very happy
and,
about it.
And Kang takes care of the time.
Who
the
is
time
Kang?
stream.
So
He's
Kang-
a time
I
traveler.
keep thinking of a kangaroo.
He's a time traveler.
So Kang is this guy who time travels and he comes back to get Captain America, right? Because Captain America stuffs something
He
up.
stuffs
in
up the
future.
time stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So, no, he comes back because Captain America was meant to die.
yeah.
He was meant to die, but he didn't die, and he stuffed something up in the future. So he comes back to kill Captain America.
So he's actually a good guy, but he doesn't like it when you mess with the time stream. So
Yeah.
he could be the new big baddie because they mess everything up.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Yeah, I'd love to see Silver Surfer come back.
Yeah, Silver Surfer would be good.
Silver Surfer,
That would
Galactus.
lead into
Silver Surfer?
Galactus.
Galactus,
That would
yeah.
lead into
Oh, as
Galactus.
in from
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic
yeah.
Four.
Oh, those guys are in this as well, aren't they? They really fucked up that. Tried it twice and fucked it both times.
Well, Marvel hasn't done it yet, so
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So-
I reckon they'll stay away from it.
Nah, I think they're going to come in before the X-Men into this
Yeah.
universe. Yeah. Because X-Men, they've had a lot of movies, so they'll probably stay away from X-Men for a bit. But I think
Fantastic Four, they won't do it
Yeah.
a bit sooner.
Yeah. Phase 4, Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my favorite question. I think everyone's going to have a different answer. So, firstly, will Thanos die? And if he does die, who do you think will kill him?
I think it's going to be between Thor and
I think
someone.
Iron Man will kill him. Iron Man will kill him, and yeah, he's gonna die. Because if he's alive, then he's gonna just try and do it all again. He has to die.
Yeah.
He goes to a planet, makes another Infinity Gauntlet. I don't know. I reckon it might be Thor that gets his revenge because, well, I reckon it'll kind of be
what if
sweet
they all-
justice.
what if they all just gangbang him? They all just jump on him together.
Just a cartoon brawl of like arms coming out and a cloud of dust.
That's it.
I think Infinity War has really been building up to it being Thor.
No, I think it's building up to it being Iron Man.
Yeah,
It's between those two, I reckon. But I feel like,
But I think it's going to be Hulk. I think Hulk is going to have his moment in this movie. I think he's going to come out and he's
Yeah,
going to...
it could be Hulk,
Yeah.
actually.
That'd be really satisfying to watch.
Do you know what I think it might be? I think it's just going to be the Big Six. Oh, theory. It's going to be Hawkeye. It's going to be Hawkeye.
hey, so Hawkeye's this new guy, huh? That I don't really know about. Ronan, or what do they call him?
Ronan.
Ronan.
Yeah.
Ronan, he's got some.
Well,
sort of-
Hawkeye's obviously lost his whole family through this
Yeah.
process. So
It
Imagine-
could be.
Do-
Bro,
I would
that would
love
be a
it.
madness.
I would love it if it was Hawkeye.
That
I
would be
love
so
it.
good.
Yeah.
like just like the lowest of the low, taking out Thanos.
But like this guy that's like
This
has
guy's
been
just a
underestimated
normal
for
guy.
so long.
Exactly.
That's why I won this argument.
I will stand up and cheer if Hawkeye kills him at the end.
I think everyone's predicting the same line of thought that all of the Avengers are going to come back, A, and that they're all going to team up to take out Thanos, B. Thanos was made to be like a relatable villain
Yeah.
in Infinity War. Everyone was like, he's got a point. things are getting a little bit out of control, even in locally. But this guy's thinking galactically. I think he's achieved what he wanted to achieve. If it's undone, will he have the same rage and the same kind of motivation to fight all of the Avengers? Or will something happen that's unexpected? Like, will there be a even bigger cause to fight that maybe Thanos might not want to join? Will he join the Avengers and join them to fight together for some reason?
I think it's possible, but I also think if you undid what Thanos did in Infinity War, there's no way he would just be like, nah, that's fine. He would go back and try and do it again.
Yeah, especially if he's got the stones. So, and I think that for that reason, there's got to be some sense of vengeance.
But I think what you're saying about there being something bigger could happen. Yeah, so I think there's some truth to that.
Yeah. So I'm not going to lay it out, but if someone was to kill Thanos, I would love it for it to be
Hawkeye.
I'd love it.
Being Hawkeye.
I'd love it for it to be Captain Marvel. Just simply because.
Shit.
Here's the thing.
Get out.
Hawkeye killing him. Yeah, you'd have to be pretty subdued for Hawkeye to do some sort of killing blow. I just want to see a powerful freaking Avenger take Thanos, overpower him. Just overpower him in every essence.
What if Hawkeye gets the Infinity Gauntlet and then overpowers him?
Then grows this ball sack of a chin and becomes a new Thanos.
Wait, is that what happens when you wear the Infinity Gauntlet?
That's what you do, right? Thanos looked normal before he wore it.
No, I'd just like to see Thanos completely overpowered.
I can see Captain Marvel doing it, but I just don't think it would be satisfying if Captain Marvel
unsatisfying. And also, then
she doesn't have the history.
It has to be the other guys that have been fucked on by Thanos this whole time, right?
Because she doesn't have the history that Thor has.
Everyone's lost something to Thanos, though.
Yeah, but
Thor's lost the most, though.
We didn't see her lose anything.
She's lost Nick Fury. She's lost
screen. I'd say that the emotion built up.
She lost Fury.
Bro, she bowed from Fury like 20 years ago.
But still, they text each other every night.
I think in terms of like personally what we've seen,
I think Hawkeye's lost the most. If you think about it,
that's true.
He lost a family that he had for like.
That was also off screen, unless we see it in Endgame.
Yeah.
But in terms of on screen, I think it's Thor. I think
Thor's lost the most.
No, but he's lost it to other people, not just that.
But it's like he brings it, and like the whole should have gone for the head. I reckon they're going to show a live decapitation of this guy.
It's only Loki that Thanos is killed.
No, Idris Elba.
And then like
Idris, let's call him
the
Idris.
Asgardians on that.
Well, but it's his sister as well that fucked him, so it's not just it's not just Thanos.
But the whole fucking Asgard dies. Yeah. That is the one thing that Jeremy Johns brings it up.
I don't think it's all of Asgard. Some of them get away.
Yeah, some of them did leave.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, because Valkyrie's still alive.
Yeah.
And Korg's
how do you know?
alive.
They left. Yeah, they weren't in that ship.
How do you know that?
It's been revealed that they're
I think
still
Bruce
alive.
Yeah.
The Russo brothers just letting things slip.
Okay, so we've all got something different. Let's see what happens in a couple of days' time. If there was an X factor, something that no one would see coming to happen in this movie, in the first one, it was Red Skull. I don't think anyone thought Red Skull would be in that movie. What would you think would happen in this movie?
I've got one. I think they're going to bring back the Abomination.
Yeah?
I think they're going to bring back the Abomination.
The Hulk
from the Hulk Abomination.
Yes.
Oh shit!
I think he's going to come back. And
on Thanos' side, or like
on their side.
I think I know this theory. So they're obviously low down on heroes. They've lost so
many people.
So they have
to
recruit the villains
to help them. Because they'll probably have something to fight for as well.
You reckon this movie is going to go into fucking finding villains?
I think. Well,
they're all locked up in the vault, right?
Some of them are still locked up.
Yeah.
And they're so low on manpower that they need to.
Like who? So wait, they're going to go
I reckon
the Thor movie.
I reckon the Abomination.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You mean the Rift?
Yeah, the Rift. Yeah.
The Raft.
The Raft.
What do you mean the Raft?
That's the prison.
The prison
one
in the sea,
next to New York.
Oh shit!
That's the one in the middle of the sea.
Raft is the one in the middle of the sea.
Yeah.
I think an unexpected thing would be to see someone from the Fox side come in unexpectedly.
X-Men
before any sort of time travel.
I think that would really screw with everyone because they would not know. No one would expect.
Who do you reckon it would be? It would have to
Magneto or someone.
No, it would have to be Wolverine.
Yeah.
Isn't he part of the
or Charles?
Avengers?
Maybe Charles.
I'd say
some crazy
Reed-
shit.
Reed
but they
Richards.
have a movie coming up though.
Reed Richards. Yeah, I think they wouldn't
No,
fuck
I
with
don't
it.
think-
They wouldn't fuck with the X-Men because it's like
They
they've
might
got
do
enough-
Fantastic
but
Four.
like maybe Reed Richards or
Maybe.
like
Who's Reed Richards?
Or Doctor Doom, maybe.
Mr. Fantastic.
No, Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Right.
Or Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Who's Doctor Doom? Yeah.
You got to brush up on your Fantastic Four lore.
I haven't seen any of the movies. Don't plan on watching them either.
Don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a reference to Adam in Guardians of the Galaxy. We haven't seen anything.
Oh
else.
yeah, maybe
Adam
he
Warlock.
could show up. That would be.
He could
yeah,
show up.
That would
I
be.
think-
Adam Warlock.
I think there's a possibility that Hela is still alive as well, Thor's sister.
Yep. So that would be left field.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I would really enjoy it if the Abomination showed up.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be so cool.
That would be pretty cool.
But he would be the guy that would go in first and like die.
yeah.
Just testing.
Yeah, testing the
Checking in.
waters.
Oh shit, he's strong. Okay.
He's still good.
We've already talked about will we see X-Men Fantastic Four. What do you think Stanley's cameo is? I've got a theory, so I'll go first.
Oh, he's in this.
yeah, there is a Stanley
one
cameo.
one last ride.
So I think there's two possibilities. So if
It's going to be Paul Walker from Fast and Furious.
so if Tony Stark dies, I think he'll be there'll be a funeral at the end, and he'll be
the new Iron Man.
he'll be the one sort of conducting the ceremony. But if he doesn't die, I think he's going to get married to Pepper at the end of the movie, and he's going to be the one doing the wedding. Stanley.
All right.
Yeah.
I think it will be a funny cameo. Because most of his cameos are funny. So I think it'll be something
Do
funny.
you reckon? Yeah.
Because they would have known that was his last cameo.
Yeah.
So they'll stick to whatever they did. But
Probably something
that's a
funny.
pretty good guess.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about his cameo actually.
I hope it's still the guy in the strip club, like in Deadpool.
Yeah.
I'd love it if he's actually drawing comics in this one. That'd be cool.
Or if he's drawing the whole thing, like Men in Black. Like it zooms out and it's just Stanley drawing it.
Oh my gosh.
That would be shit.
Fuckery.
That would be shit.
It was all a dream.
Yeah.
Okay, and last question. Who would be the new Avengers team? So this is kind of finishing a chapter in the MCU. Going forward, who do you think is going to be the team?
I mean, if these guys were to leave?
Yeah.
Well, depending on who's...
I feel like Spider-Man will stay in it, wouldn't
Yeah.
he? Because he hasn't been in it enough.
Yeah, he'll Spider-Man.
Captain Marvel, probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, Black
Black
Panther.
Panther.
You would expect Doctor Strange to probably be in that.
Yep.
Yeah. Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man will stick
Or the
around.
Defenders? I don't know.
Ant-Man probably be in there.
Hawkeye, Ronan.
No, I don't think so.
Huh?
No. I think he's going to retire.
Or die.
No, hopefully not.
Probably not.
I'm on Team Hawkeye. I like Hawkeye.
I like Hawkeye as well. He's pretty badass.
I'd love to see Daredevil come in from the Defenders.
I don't think they'll go in that direction.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
I think that's probably
That's
going
it.
to be
And they'll
about
probably introduce newer
new
characters.
characters. Yeah. Retire the big six, I reckon.
Daredevil's
Six, six.
Daredevil's
Although-
Fox as well, no?
Yeah.
No, what is he?
Fox.
No,
No, it's Marvel.
it's Marvel.
He's Marvel, but
Yeah,
he's
Marvel.
separate.
He's in the universe, but he's kind
He's
of
just
not.
there, yeah. Probably.
Actually, do you think the Infinity Stones will be destroyed?
No.
They'll
So
be
they're gonna-
cast somewhere.
I think they'll all like
Can
take
you-
one.
Are you allowed?
I think they'll all like take one and go hide it somewhere.
Again.
Yeah.
I think they won't be destroyed, but I think their relevance might not be as important anymore, or their potency won't be as
Like-
bound to the stone. Like Captain Marvel's powers from the Space Stone.
But imagine like in phase 4, well, at the end of this phase, they go and hide all the Infinity Stones somewhere. They don't talk about them for like, I don't know,
They all do
until phase 6 or
They all do
whatever.
a group suicide.
And then, and they'll do a group suicide. And after the group suicide, like there's a big baddie that comes and they can't defeat them. And then they're like, we've got to go find the Infinity Stones.
Dragon Ball Z style.
Dragon Ball Z style. How cool would that be?
That Dragon Ball Z style, you mean like 20 seasons of them just keep going to keep finding them over and over again?
And then another 20 seasons just charge a spirit bomb, yeah.
Or like Voldemort Horcrux style.
Yeah, Voldemort Horcrux style. Yeah.
As long as they put proper guards, not just give it to some goddamn merchant that is
Yeah, no,
corrupt
I
as hell.
think it would have to be like one of the Avengers guarding it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they give it to Iron Man if he's still alive.
So maybe that could be an end to these Avengers. You have to go and guard this fucking stone.
Possibly.
That's
True,
your
that
thing.
could be it.
That's
Wait,
your-
There's six Avengers. There's six
Six
stones.
Infinity Stones.
Yeah,
Might be.
I
onto
doubt they're
something.
going to do that because Captain America.
What's Hawkeye
He's in
going to
space.
Hawkeye's going to guard a stone by himself.
No, he's got this now.
shoves it
He's
up
got
his
this. He's got this.
You reckon Ant-Man can shrink the Infinity Stone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, using those disc things.
That's an amazing way to hide that shit.
Yeah, but you probably
Just
lose.
shrink them all.
And then put them in the quantum realm.
Wear the
Yeah.
gauntlet, shrink, and then just
Put them in the quantum realm. Yeah.
yeah. All's good.
Interesting. We've got to see what happens.
I think none of our theories are going to be right.
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Like for our Infinity War theories, none of them were correct.
None of them happened. Yeah.
Everyone, the other half just die. No fight.
Everyone's
Endgame.
dead.
Literally
Everyone's
Endgame.
dead.
The other half.
And then Spider-Man Homecoming's a farce. It's not a real movie. It's never coming out.
All right. Anything else? Endgame
Casket's
related?
coming home, mate.
Do you want to mention anything? That's it.
That's it. I think we're just on a long wait now.
Yeah.
Long way. It's a couple of days.
That's a
Not far away.
It's a long way, man.
It's coming in.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed the first segment of this episode and also
No worries.
predictions. Thanks to these two. It was great to have you.
No worries.
It was a pleasure, as always.
And we'll do this again. This was fun. This was really fun.
It's good sesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Are you guys planning on getting some other people for this?
Yes.
See
We'll
how
see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We might get. So he's won this round, hasn't he?
He's won. So you're the current champion.
Yeah, you're
gone
the
through.
winner of the first ever. What are we calling it? Superhero Showdown
Or
Avengers Supercoach.
Yeah. Whichever one you guys like better.
So, if people have any questions about the decisions we made on this podcast or predictions, how do they do that?
Oh shit, I wasn't expecting this. I totally forgot. We've got Gmail at cognitiverecalibrationpodcast@gmail.com.
Gmail at cognitive.
I know, right?
Ah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
On the inception. .com at Gmail.
We've got Twitter at Cognitive Recap. Well, what's our Twitter handle?
See recalibration.
See Recalibration.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, this is confusing as fuck.
On Instagram and Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, we're just at Cognitive Recalibration. Yeah.
Talking of Facebook, if you haven't liked our Facebook page yet, please do that. We have all our updates on that now. And we're available on pretty much any podcasting service, so check us out on your favorite one.
Are you on Spotify?
Yes.
Nice.
We are on Spotify.
We are.
That wraps it up. So we'll see you in the next episode, which will be our Endgame review. So get ready for that.
Woo.
We're all very excited. As you can hear.
Clearly.
It's going to be nuts.
So till then, we'll see you in the next episode.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
See ya.
Hello.